We are talking all things hockey today, folks. From Wayne Gretzky to Bobby Orr to Connor McDavid.
Who's your...
Puck talk, baby.
Can you name 3 other current playing...
I just did. Bobby Orr, Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux. Hami or Jagr. Dominik Hasek.
Are those real players? I mean, Lord knows you know them better than I would.
Honestly, not much. I don't watch anything hockey. No.
Does that mean we can maybe talk some football then, or no?
Sure. Yeah, I love when you talk sports, yes.
I know you do.
I've come here to be entertained today, yes. You're very studious ahead of time. I'm excited.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't call it studious.
I would call it studious.
Enough in week 1 of NFL being back. I feel like there's enough for both of us to be able to talk about. My imagination was, and I didn't do much digging into it because I figured you would want to talk enough on Aaron Rodgers. I've got a feeling you've got to talk about that.
Arguably the best starting quarterback of the week.
4 touchdowns. No one else did any 4 touchdown passes. I'm trying to think of the only other game scoring that high was the Bills. Well, yeah, Bills-Ravens was probably the only other one I could think of.
Yep. Yeah, he looked excellent. I was shocked. Like, right from the get-go, he looked great. So, yeah, that's good. I've got a bunch of his rookie stuff. Been holding for that reason. I wonder what he has to do. Usually I have an idea with a player. Like, hey, Josh Allen has a great week. Yeah, do it for 10 weeks and maybe guys will notice. You know, Daniel Jones has a great week. His pricing reflects it today.
Yeah.
Normally I have an idea. With Aaron Rodgers, I don't know. Like,
the only thing is I was thinking, like, the fact that he already has, of course, his base. This is what people have been hoping to see for there to be a resurgence in pricing. Like, to see...
For Rodgers?
Yeah, like, I think they want one shining glimmer of hope. That's what they were hoping for, and that might have been it in that game. I mean... I guess
my pushback would be you beat the Jets week 1 of the regular season. This is a first ballot, top 10, all-time great quarterback already. Does this do anything yet? I don't think it does. I don't think it does, but if you told me it did, maybe. I think it's going to take a few weeks.
Well, I did check pricing. And I checked current pricing, too. The answer seems to be like...
Kinda. There's a couple sales that have done well. There's other sales that are cheaper than the last that was 2 months ago.
Exactly.
His market's weird. That's what I mean. I don't think anybody knows yet what to do with it. And I think it's for that reason. Yes, he looked great. He also beat the Jets. He plays for the Steelers. Are they going to be competitive at the end of the year? What does this mean? Again, Josh Allen has to prove a lot to me because he's great. How much does Rodgers have to prove? Because he is great. He was great, but he's had 2 years where he's been irrelevant. So, I don't know. I very much am interested to see. Geno Smith looked awesome for the Raiders. Again, I don't know that Geno Smith is going to move the needle unless they do something crazy and go on a big run. But I wonder. I mean, I don't know.
Geno Smith, I can't believe he's even still playing. It feels like every time we've talked about him, it's like I have to start looking him up again.
Yeah,
never again about him.
Never a household name. Yep. But had a good week. I mean,
if anyone is curious, his 2013 Prism, there are 54 PSA 10s out there. It's very few and far between.
Yeah, second-year Prism. I mean, yeah. And then your highest, like for actual QB, for quarterback ratings, it was Lamar, Aaron, Herbert, Love, Fields. Those are your top 5 in terms of actual ratings.
Wait, what do you mean second-year Prism?
Prism came out in 2012. First year was released.
Oh, the second year.
Second year of the product. I'm sorry.
Yes, okay. Yeah, all right. So
Herbert's another guy falls into that for me. Had a great game. I think we have to see Herbert do more for a while because people have seen the great regular season. But a good start. I mean, he can't do any more than he did there.
I mean, Justin Herbert was the one where I thought that we were going to see a big, I don't know, I thought we'd see a jump in pricing because he had been so low for a while. But
he's expensive still, though. His low is still expensive.
Yes.
Because he was so crazy high. So that's why and again, we've seen him have borderline postseason seasons. I think for him, the goalpost this year is make the playoffs and win a game.
The fact that he had already jumped somewhat in the last, I don't know, couple weeks also made me think like, oh, well, that's probably one of the reasons why you're not seeing as big of an increase. He's at $58 for a PSA 10, which is funny because it's not like, that's not a lot compared to somebody who's in the $100 range. And
sure.
But he does have 6,000 PSA 10s, and he just hasn't performed well enough for some to think he should even be at $58.
Jalen Hurts sells in that range. Probably a little bit higher, but very similar.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts just won a Super Bowl. It's a weird... Daniel Jones is the weirdest one to me, though. Daniel Jones put up, 272 yards, a touchdown. He ran the ball a couple times as well. 1 touchdown, no picks. And they blew out the Dolphins. Like, I think Daniel Jones is a guy today. Football, to me, of all the sports, is the most immediate reaction because you only have 1 game a week. We're not going to see them play 6 games like in baseball over the course of the next week. A guy like Daniel Jones comes out and does that, I sell him. If I've been holding him like, hey, I got stuck with the stuff, holding the bag, I sell him immediately. I don't trust Daniel Jones. I don't trust the Colts. We're seeing a spike. Move him.
Okay.
Let somebody else buy the hype. I also am a little bit delayed to do anything. Josh Allen just played amazing. Yeah, Josh Allen could play very good the first 8 weeks and have no movement. Or could play very good and drop a little in value because we see other guys play unbelievably well and it just takes the spotlight away. Like last year, look what happened. Like the first 10 weeks when Jaden Daniels was unbelievable, other guys had very good seasons and their market did nothing because there was so much attention on Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, all these guys.
I didn't even look at Jaden Daniels' pricing. I wonder what
He had a very, like, he had a decent game, 233 yards, a touchdown. I mean, he was fine. His QBR was like 60. Rating was 98. They won the game. Good. Like, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But he didn't play nothing exceptional. I thought Lamar was unbelievable. I thought Lamar was amazing. And that run in the fourth quarter, I think it was, when it was 3rd and 19 or 2nd and 19, he ran back about 30 yards, did a fake juke, and both guys just fell on their face. One of those guys was Joey Bosa, great pass rusher, and then ran for a 19-yard gain. I thought that was he was unbelievable. I hate watching the Ravens play. Jim Harbaugh in the fourth quarter was like, let's just play conservative and play not to the last 7 minutes. Dude, just keep your foot on their throat and blow them out.
I feel like if they stopped every Ravens game halfway through, maybe 3/4 of the way through, they would look fantastic. And it's just like they get this confidence and then they just rest on that.
Well, they come out and they play very conservative. Let's run the ball 3 times. Let's kill the clock. I got news for you. You're not killing the clock against Josh Allen in that offense. They need 30 seconds to get down the field. Just keep scoring. Keelan Coleman, by the way, super underrated yesterday, was amazing. He was like the pulse of that Bills offense. He was Josh Allen's number 1 weapon. That kid, he's a rookie last year, selling pretty cheap because he missed a lot of the end of the season. I think that's another guy I would keep an eye on if you're looking like,
Did you check many non-sport or non-quarterback pricings?
We talked about him. We talked about, who else came up? It was a few guys. Travis Etienne, a kid for the Jags, went absolutely nuts running the ball. Yeah, I would imagine his market's going to take off. They had a receiver over there, have a couple touchdowns. The Jags look pretty good. My boy Trevor Lawrence, I've been buying a little bit. We'll see. I'm not overly sold on Trevor, but he's pretty good. You never know.
I don't know why. He still has not done anything to, I think, be anything wowing, but I'm glad that you still think. What about Burrow? I mean, you came in hot. Mm-hmm. They won. It was
very average game, yeah.
Close game. Mm-hmm. The fact that Joe Flacco, like I had to double check that like multiple times. Like Joe Flacco is the quarterback for the Browns over here. Like I'm trying to figure out like what the story was because I kept thinking like, oh, it's Shedeur that's going to be playing because I didn't watch any of the preseason stuff. And then finally realizing like, oh, Shedeur's like, he's like 4th string or something like way down the line.
You know what you have with Flacco. He had a pretty average, like that's a Joe Flacco type game.
Yeah.
Couple good throws, a touchdown, couple bad picks. That's Joe Flacco.
I'm curious what that ends up doing as far as like if there's anybody out there. I think it's like another Geno Smith. Like
even worse. He's 10 years older than Geno. Jeez.
Oh, is he really?
Flacco's old. Flacco's got to be 40.
I can't even pull up Flacco and card ladder. I
want to say Flacco's a 2008 rookie.
2008? I'm double checking.
Man, I think that's right.
Joe Flacco.
Yeah, like that's a guy, again, I don't think there's any reason to ever buy Joe Flacco right now. Unless you're PCing him, great. Like if he has guys that collect him, fantastic.
You live in Cleveland. Rookie year was 2008.
It was, okay. Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, fine. It's the young guys. You got to see guys, somebody who's going to make a jump or come from obscurity. So Daniel Jones comes from obscurity. Fantastic. Maybe we see Jordan Love and Justin Herbert have a deep playoff run this year. That's something big for them. But yeah, and Justin Fields from obscure. I mean, I don't think anybody was expecting him. Justin Fields ran the ball well, passed for 218 yards, had a touchdown, rating of 80. I actually watched that game. He looked very good. Had an awesome touchdown pass early to Garrett Wilson. There's some guys here. I look at them like, man, there's some talent in the league. Maybe, again, it's week 1. I want to overreact to everything, but let's see what they do.
The Derrick Henry resale, he's maintained $300 for his rookie right now, which is
without that fumble. That's an unbelievable game for him.
I mean, he did so well, and it got punched out right towards the end.
Yep,
yeah,
killed it.
It does hurt, but at the same time, I think everyone can see like, oh, they wouldn't be where they were without him. Lamar did fantastic.
That's the most dynamic offense in the league. D-Hop had an unbelievable one-handed catch. Like he's an older guy. Zay Flowers, young kid. They have weapons at every level on offense.
That Hopkins catch, the one-handed, that was out of that game. Here's a fun fact for you about that game.
This better be fun. I swear to God.
The Bills' probability of winning that game at 8 minutes left was 1.1%. They, as a team, the Bills have only 13 times. That's the 13th most improbable comeback they've ever had. And that is the most improbable comeback they've ever had with Josh Allen as quarterback.
But not with Frank Reich as quarterback. You ever want to see the
Maybe
most
not.
improbable game of all time? Check out the Frank Reich game.
I'm going to think about it. I've never heard of Frank Wright.
Backup quarterback.
Yeah, keep going.
Let me find it here.
I'm in.
1993.
Now, this is a fun fact.
Biggest comeback in NFL history. I think it was at the time. Oh, it's not the biggest anymore, but it's probably still the most improbable.
Boo, not fun fact.
Frank Reich, greatest comeback, orchestrated a 32-point comeback win for the Buffalo Bills against the Houston Oilers in the AFC wildcard playoff game. They were down 35-3 in the third quarter. They came back to win 41-38 in overtime, and he was a backup quarterback. Pretty ridiculous.
All I'm saying is, for first game of the season, the primetime game, too, of Sunday night, that is how you start the season and get people hyped.
The only more exciting game than that to me yesterday was the Jets-Steelers.
You think that was more exciting?
Yeah, because the whole game was exciting. It was close. This game was a blowout one way and the other. The Ravens outplayed them the whole first 3 quarters. Then it was all Bills. Very exciting, but it wasn't ever a close game until the very end. The Ravens were just up the entire game.
I'd venture to say more people enjoyed that last game than the Steelers game.
Oh, they have way bigger fan bases. I just mean, if you take the logos away,
sure.
One game is back and forth the entire game. It's close all 60 minutes. The other game wasn't close until the end of the game.
Okay.
It was great to see, though, and those are the 2 most talented offenses. In week 1, nobody looked anywhere near not even close to the offensive level we just saw of those 2 teams.
I think that this is a great way to start the season, not just for the game, the NFL itself, but for the card community. I think people seeing stuff like this coming in, seeing Rodgers come back. I think there's so much money already invested in him. You also have a number of rookies that are still very hot. I think the only part that it's not really helping. I don't know if you have any
rookies that are hot this year.
Well, excuse me, I should have clarified. Rookies from the last couple years that were still playing.
Oh, so young guys.
Yes, younger guys, but. I think, and that's what I was going to say, the only real part that didn't really seem to be affected positively is the new rookie class. There was
the young guys. I would argue the young guys played. Drake May was terrible. Bo Nix was very average. Cam Ward was terrible. Jaden Daniels was very pedestrian. If Jaden Daniels does what he did yesterday, his prices fall. C.J. Stroud lost, didn't look great. I don't know if I thought the young guys across the board looked pretty bad.
You thought they looked bad? I mean, I thought I didn't think it was anything out of this. I thought it was no one looked bad to the point of affecting their pricing. I thought it was just okay, well, it wasn't a great game, but it wasn't anything that we have to worry about for the rest of the season. It was just this is a great way to start the season in the sense that nobody's oh, well, I'm dumping this guy or I'm going to necessarily go out and buy all of this. It was the guys that we wanted to do really well, which would be Josh Allen fans, because there's already a huge fan base. You've got the Aaron Rodgers fans that are hoping that their investment comes back. There's a number of bigger guys, long-term guys that are already doing what they needed to do. But then the other guys didn't do anything to make me think, oh, I need to sell out of all of my spots in Jaden Daniels or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I'm more pessimist, I especially with how expensive they are. I think if you saw Drake May and Bo Nix yesterday, you thought, oh, yeah, there's no way they're going to sustain pricing. They would have to play so much better on average to sustain where their numbers are right now. There's no chance. And even Jaden, I think guys are going to, again, Jaden Daniels' pricing is absolutely through the roof. I think guys are going to look and go, oh, who's the next guy?
I'm trying to think, too. Who are the rookie? There's no starting rookies.
There's one.
Who was it?
You of all people should know this, Jesse.
Starting? He did start. Oh, yes, he did for the Titans. Yes, I know.
What's his name?
Cam Ward.
There you go.
And he didn't do anything.
So the team looked absolutely atrocious. Yep. Denver has a great defense. My only problem there was we didn't even see a couple little sparks of oh, that's why. NFL people will tell you he's going to be great, fine, whatever. That team is atrocious. They have no weapons. They have no offensive line. And the head coach, to me, looks absolutely lost. I think Cam Ward's market is in a tough spot already, and there's very little of it. Oh,
I would not encourage anybody to invest anything in the Titans right now. And I hate that as a fair weather Titans fan that I am.
I guess that's my big pushback. I don't know one single young guy yesterday you looked at, you're like, oh, yeah, he's going to sustain or go up after what I saw. Old guys, sure. Young guys, I don't know. A little bit rough for all of them. None of them had a standout game.
Did you watch or go back and look at anything for the Tua's game?
Horrendous.
Tua's done, right? At this point, unless, again, that's, this is first week.
Done in terms of hobby?
Yeah.
What's he saying? He's already crazy low. That's a guy who, honestly, a Tua's a guy, I don't think there'll be much reaction because they got blown out week 1, but no one has money in Tua. That's the difference. Like a guy like Tua can play like that.
I'm pulling up Tua pricing right now just to see what he's...
Like his 2020 Prism PSA 10 sells for what, $20, $25?
You were being generous.
That's what I mean. So where's it going to go?
So right now, Tua, oh God, $13 for a PSA 10.
Yeah, I'm not panicking there because it's already worth nothing. But if he has 1 or 2 good games, which we've seen him, and he has a crazy talented offense, that stuff probably doubles. Because it's easy to go from 13 to 25 or 30.
Seeing him at 13,
that's what I mean.
I would go out and buy him right now. Just for the case that he does have
again the huge
one game.
Yeah, the huge factor here is expectation. I don't care how you performed. How did you perform compared to what you're supposed to do?
Sure.
Daniel Jones, that game, through the roof. Justin Fields, no expectation. Josh Allen, quite frankly, had an unbelievable game. Lamar, unbelievable game. Did you expect anything less? And they have to play like that to maintain. That's what I mean.
But I guess what my expectation is, they will not live up to the hype. Because it's very rare. I feel like it's hard to live up to the hype. The fact that they lived up to the hype was almost like overperforming in my mind.
Well, you're talking about the guys who have won MVP or been runner-up the last 3 years. Why wouldn't they live up to that now?
Week 1 coming in, I didn't think that we were going to see something like what we saw in that game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was a phenomenal game and very high-level performance and there was very few turnovers throughout that game, and actually a number of the games I was watching, I was trying to think. But yeah, it seemed like that was one of those where they lived up to the hype, and I just don't get to see that very often. I feel like I don't.
Okay, I don't want to keep arguing with you. I feel like I am combative. I'm not even trying to be combative. I don't know how you can say they have not. The last 3 years, they have lived up to the hype. So how are we saying that they are not?
Game 1 coming in. Throughout the season, I think people can live up to a lot of things over a longer period of time. For one instance, one moment, that's the only time we've gotten to see them. You could say someone's lived up to the hype after like a full season. It's like, yeah, they had some good times, they had some bad times, but coming right out the gate, they are still at that level. That is what's surprising to me.
Good. Yeah. Okay. It's good to see. I do agree with you there. It's definitely a positive for those two fan bases.
All right. In that case, are you...
Russell Wilson, by the way. Not great.
Were you expecting greatness?
No, I'll tell you the one takeaway from the Giants real quick. I made this point earlier too. Malik Neighbors is the only guy on the team with hobby relevance. You see him arguing with his coach, and you see a quarterback who looks like he should be sitting next to me in a chair talking about games. That's a tough look. Again, it's week 1. It's an overreaction, but I would sell everything Malik Neighbors immediately. What's the night game, by the way, tonight?
It is Bears and Seahawks, I want to say.
Vikings. Bears, Vikings.
Oh, Vikings.
Seahawks played the Niners.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
See, that's again, Justin Jefferson, J.J. McCarthy, that's a massive game for him. What does Caleb do? Tonight's a weird game.
Tonight
because you actually have 2 young guys. Maybe these are the young guys who actually play well. We have a shot to see that.
Is
it just a one game?
I think it is. I think it's just one.
I also thought it was the Seahawks. So now do I trust you? It's a question for me.
You said the Seahawks had already... Didn't you?
Yeah, Vikings, Bears, only team left. Okay.
So that game...
In Chicago.
It is down to that game for both of us.
You're up by 19 points. You have Jahmyr Gibbs.
Nope.
No, you have, who's the running back? DeAndre Swift.
I have DeAndre Swift.
I have Caleb and JJ. I have to make up 19 points. I do not think I'm going to win that game. I meant to take Caleb out. You notice, though, late second switch by me, masterful team ownership fantasy. I don't even play. Aaron Rodgers starting for me. You're welcome.
I mean, here's the thing. That Aaron Rodgers play, I was like, for sure that's not going to do anything. That was upsetting.
I do work, son.
That was my what's upsetting is the Burrow. My Burrow play did not pay off at all.
Yep.
I don't
like being able to start 2 quarterbacks, by the way. I don't know who set the rules in this league. That's dumb.
I like
2 quarterbacks in a league? Stupid.
I mean, don't you want more points? That's what everybody wants.
I want a real
more
game.
Higher scoring games.
Ridiculous.
The Caleb Williams one, I'm just hoping. I'm hoping he can't do
that's
anything.
The thing. Caleb could come out and look like Rodgers, or he can come out and look like Russell Wilson.
He just has to pass it off to Swift every time.
And that's the other thing that mitigates it. The JJ thing is interesting because Justin is an unbelievable receiver. But he has a quarterback I've never seen throw a pass in a real game. So I don't know what happens with him either.
What's funny is I've got the quarterback. I've got McCarthy in the backup list.
Oh,
I did not play him though.
That is funny.
That's not that.
See, that's
funny.
A fun fact.
Hey,
I would like to pivot real quick away from this.
Yeah, we're good.
We are late to this. We just talked about this on Cut the Nonsense this morning. We're a week late. Did you know Fanatics Fest is scheduled?
I've got it on my list of things to talk about.
Run with this if you would, then. I don't want to... set the table.
The fact is that New York City is going to be overrun with sports fans in the middle of June, July. There is going to be the FIFA World Cup in New York City, and it just so happens that Fanatics Fest has decided that we will be having Fanatics Fest during the final week of the World Cup, July 16th through 19th.
Yeah.
July 16th through 19th is the final week of the World Cup, and that is when we're having Fanatics Fest. It is absolutely insane. Did you look at hotels? I did. I went out there and looked.
Oh, did you?
I'll tell you this much. Most of you who went probably aren't going. Most of you who went probably would look at your hotel right now. It's either sold out or prices are jacked. There are a few places now, or you could go a little bit outside and you have to travel in, but then you got tolls every day. You got Uber prices every day. It gets expensive. I did get a place, and I booked my flight. I went ahead and did it all.
Really?
I was like, I found there was still some things that were reasonable, so I was like, I'm pulling the trigger now.
This is going to be a nightmare.
So
I got a hotel for $90. You're sharing that. By the way, I didn't tell you that hotel you're staying at's a hostel. So have fun.
Honestly, at this point, you might want to take it. No, there were literally places that were normally, I think it was like, I want to say like $300.
Yeah, my place was $300 last week, but I got the suite. Like, it was a nice suite.
So, you got a place too?
No. Last year, I'm saying.
Oh, last year. So this one of the places, I can't remember which one, but it was somewhat close. $300 a night normally.
$1,000.
$1,000 a night. Yeah, $4,000 or something for the total trip.
What'd you pay for your room?
With tax for 3. So I get in on Thursday, leave on Sunday.
So 3 nights.
It was with tax and everything. I think it's like $1,500.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say like $750. I was like, dude, you gotta stop this. We're getting bed bugs again.
Oh,
no AC.
This you would call it that if this was normal pricing, because that's like double what it normally would be.
Okay. Is it a crappy place?
I mean, it's not. It's like 3.9 star reviews.
Didn't we just go through this with you in New York City?
Listen, it was either that.
You're making the hobby nonsense money. It was either
money, that.
Just break out the check. It's a write-off. You just write it off.
Or I spend $4,000.
Look at me.
I'm not.
Write it off. You see what I just did?
That's how easy it was?
That's all you do. No one's keeping track of these things.
Nobody does? Wow.
Nobody even knows what they're for.
Next time.
Let me take this thing by the horns. Let me take the saddle here.
Please.
Because I hate this. This is recycled for me this morning, so I want to get your fresh perspective.
I don't care for this at all. I don't like this whole recycled.
I don't either. That's why I'm letting you do it, because I want to know.
Yep.
What are your thoughts? Let me break this down very specifics. Your thoughts of them doing this during the same time as the World Cup.
Here's my thought. Glad you asked. I even question.
He's leaning forward. He thinks he's on Hobby Nonsense now. Look at this. He's hosting.
I question.
Ray here, folks, interviewing my host, Jesse Gibson. I'll be co-hosting. Little chair, little assistant over here, little assistant boy.
Is that what you think of me? I'm your little assistant boy?
No, that's what I think of Ray. I said I'm Ray.
Oh, no, he's co-host.
I know that lie. Hey, Ray, did you hear that tone? Oh, no.
Hey, Ray, trust the person who likes you, okay?
I like Ray more than you do. I've never said any of the nasty things you've said about him off camera.
I swear to God.
Okay,
anyways. Why do you do this? Why do you do this? He loves to watch the world burn, people. So here's the fact.
Some people just want to watch the world burn. Thank you, Michael Caine.
The best Michael.
All right, go ahead.
If you're going to do Michael, you got to talk a little. No, I'm so sorry. I butchered it.
I'm sorry. Does he have Down syndrome? What was that? What did you just do?
I think you can say that.
I don't think there's any rules, folks.
All right, so here's what we're my specific thoughts are
about the World Cup aspect, though. Give me that first.
About wait.
About them doing it during the World Cup. Give me that.
Well, it has to do with motives and specifics. Are we saying that they specifically chose that week? That's what I don't know. Because
of course they did.
Well, I mean, like they knew they planned that, because I have to imagine that it's like many things where we talk to people who book out convention sites and we find out, these are done years in advance. They have to do a lot of planning around this. I don't know if this was something that they knew was going to be happening at the same time that this was planned.
The World Cup's been a thing for years, though.
Sure.
There's no way they don't know. Let's go into the premise they knew. Let's
say they knew.
Because I'm assuming they did.
If they knew, I think the mindset is coming from maybe people that have a lot of money, that have a lot of abilities to get places and spend that money. And it's like, okay, well, we want this to be top class show. We've got all these stars, all these people coming out. We want the people who come to this to see like, not only do we have Not only do we have all of the star power, but we also are making this where it's like, if you're going to be in town, go enjoy some of the things that this town has to offer, including one of the biggest events in the world right now.
I think you just hit the nail on the head. There's 50 extra billion people there that weekend. Do it that weekend. There's way more people there who are sports fans.
The only issue that it really comes down to is if it were just a celebrity athlete show, then yeah, that'd be big. But the fact that we are trying to push so much of the card aspect of it.
I don't know if they are.
I mean,
they said last year it's 15% of the show are the card vendors.
You mean like the money-wise? Because the space is not 15%. The space is huge.
They said last year about 15% of the space on the floor was for the card show.
If you include like the museum and the downstairs lines and all that stuff, yeah. But I think it's for the main show, though, the main show, like the main floor, you're talking at least 30 to 40%.
I don't know if it's that much. I mean, it wasn't even a third of that one room on the right. Never mind the room on the left. There was no cards on the left. That huge room, nothing in there. That was all just events.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
So you're taking so of the main floor, 15, 20, maybe.
If you want to be 20%. More conservative, say 20%.
Yeah.
But if it's still 20% of the floor, and the fact that they spread that throughout, where it's like, okay, we've purposely done this because we want to integrate the card business.
Yes and no, but even that they said
they
that
absolutely do. Well, you think they don't want to make the?
No, I think they do. I'm saying they didn't. If you walked in, the card tables were in. There was 15 rows to the right.
Sure, but they were also not in just one back corner. If they didn't,
it was the back of the main room. It was the back right corner of that main room, across the back of it.
No, it was in the main room, but it was like in the middle. It followed all the way through. Their whole breaking setup. Behind it was like lines for autographs. They also had like some hockey stuff. They had like a number of things, like the stages. They had a few stages over there.
That's right. WWE. Okay. Yep, that's right. You're right. So more in the middle. Yep. Okay. 20%, but more centrally located.
So
you're right. I'm sorry.
If that is the case, it tells me that they are purposely trying to push it, which why wouldn't they? It is their business. They're still making money off of that. And it's the fact that they are trying to make this something that's enjoyable for the card collector to come to as well. However, I do recognize that this is not just for card collectors. It's for sports fans in general. Mm-hmm. But at the end, my thing is this just for New Yorkers now, or is this for locals? Because it will be very
pricing
difficult
a lot of people out now
to get there if you are not somewhere in the vicinity of NYC.
I wonder if Auntie Di listens to this show. Maybe I could stay with her.
Do you not just call her weekly?
I haven't. I talk to her every 6 months, if that. Never. Man. My godmother, by the way.
Why don't we just call her right now? Wait, you can have an aunt that's a godmother?
Yeah, maybe be a godmother. Just
why don't you
made up title?
Why don't you just have an aunt be an aunt though?
She is my aunt.
She's your aunt.
An ant is an insect, just to be clear. She is my aunt, but you also designate her and Dave Kane.
Who's Dave Kane?
Call Papa Gio real quick. This is a great quick story. Real quick. Give him a call. Real fast. I agree with you, by the way. While you're calling Gio, I think it is great from a sense of, hey, we're going to have more people in the city, which is weird. It's already a stupid, crowded city. You're going to have more sports fans in the city that weekend than almost any other time because the World Cup is absolutely phenomenon, unlike almost any other. But yeah, I don't think they took into account, hey, this is like, how are you supposed to get there?
Yeah.
It was already a little expensive.
How are you?
Hey, isn't Dave Kane my godfather?
You don't even know.
Yeah.
Where is he? Is he still alive?
I think so. I don't know.
What's he doing?
He was in Maine last time. I talked to Craig. I went to Craig, and that was like 3 years ago. Yeah, that's where he was plastering last time I heard.
Oh, plastering, not plaster. Oh, good. Well, maybe both. We don't know. I wonder if he listens to the show. When's the last time you talked to Dave?
Jesus. When somebody died, it was like 15 years ago.
I would just like to ask this question, Gio. Do you feel like Dave Kane has lived up to his responsibilities as the Godfather?
Well, Dad didn't die.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he is.
He was the Irish Godfather.
Let me just read to you what Google says is the responsibility of a godfather.
Okay.
It's spiritual guidance and acting as a faith-based role model, helping to ensure the child's Christian upbringing and life according to the faith's principles.
Well, he's certainly done that.
Yeah.
He's did a great job. He did a pretty good job.
Heck of a guy. Sure.
All right, cool. That was great.
Hey, biggest performance yesterday. I'm curious. What stood out to you the most about the NFL?
Josh.
Yeah.
You
see your boy Aaron? You see your boy Rodgers?
Oh, he didn't like that you didn't say Aaron, Papa.
He's still a stiff.
Yeah, he hates Rodgers. And then I don't like Drake May anymore.
They stink.
Yeah, that offense was pathetic. Even the defense wasn't as great as advertised.
Geno Smith was like 362 yards.
Not great.
Whoa, it was 362?
He had like a second or third most.
Am I on the air?
Yeah.
Of course.
Just checking.
No, we normally call you.
You
when
say
we're
whatever
not
else you want. It doesn't matter anymore. No rules.
We should call him more when we're not on the air. Just the two of us.
That Buffalo game was interesting. I watched most of that. So
you stayed up for that, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Good for you.
What did you think about the picture I sent you with the top hat and the monocle?
Oh yeah.
Really, really great.
Tell me you showed other people that
Make
picture.
sure you sent that to Rebecca. Yeah, I'd like that to be in the thumbbure for today.
I send that to
her.
her.
Sure.
Yeah. I'll let you know how to send a picture.
Yeah, I can't even believe he got the picture. He's rocking the iPhone 4 still. I got to get him a new phone.
I don't know if that was a compliment or you just give me a wise ass thing.
No, that was a compliment. That's what the AI thinks you should look like. I plugged it into AI.
Jesse typed in, if Papa Gio wasn't an embarrassment, what would he look like?
I never said that. He is a liar.
I'm kidding. How dare you? I'm just playing.
All right.
You look great. We should rock you out in a tux one day.
Yeah,
That'd be great. We send him over to Moby's in a full tux and a top hat and monocle. My God.
The chicks would be all over me.
Absolutely.
Oh, this is like a Bam Margera show, like with Uncle Vito or something, where they'd have Uncle Vito go and do things.
Uncle Vito.
Okay, you would treat him like an Uncle Vito. I'm not saying he's
I would
fat.
never be
I'm
that
saying,
disrespectful to my father.
I'm saying like Uncle Vito would be the guy you'd give him a few bucks and we'd get some entertainment out of it.
Hey, well, this has been a lot of fun, guys.
All right.
Hey, Gio, thank you.
Bye. Love you.
Bye. Love you too.
You're a terrible comparison, Uncle Vito.
You're the one calling him an idiot. You insult him constantly.
Never said idiot.
Never said idiot. That is a mean word. Moron, different.
Here's the other thing about Fanatics Fest, getting back to the point. And thank you, Dave Kane. If you're listening, please leave a review on Spotify. It's also 2 weeks before the National now, which I believe is what it was this year.
Oh,
Thoughts?
no. Was it 2? Was it 2 weeks before? I thought
maybe it was 3. But actually, it must have been 3 because they said this year it is closer than before. 2 weeks away.
Yes, it definitely
not even
closer.
a full 2 weeks because the National starts Wednesday.
Sure.
Your thoughts on that?
We've talked to them several times about this, right? Like, is this meant to be competition between the two? There's a short window of time where kids are out of school, where there are times where we can travel more during the summers, and I think they have to fit things in. No, just say we as like a hobby. Where we can travel to go to things. Think that they probably did not necessarily want it to be like that because I would think, too, there's still going to be people that go to the National that don't go to Fanatics Fest. And even though I think we both voted, if we had to choose one, we would probably go Fanatics Fest over National.
Corporate answer, yes.
But my opinion is if we could have done it further apart, I wish they would have.
Yeah. Yeah, I do struggle. The only thing I will say that is helpful is the amount of effort and money they put into the National still. Like that whole Tom Brady thing happened because of Fanatics. Like I do think they have gone out of their way to really try to support the National because even like Mike and Mike said on the show, they realize how valuable that show is. I am glad to see that. And I'll tell you what, the only upside too, and it wasn't intended to be.
By the way, 6 weeks. It was 6 weeks. It was mid-June. I thought there was a bigger difference.
Last year, I mean.
Yeah, yes, for this year. No, of this year, it was June, middle of June for the show for
the one that just happened.
Fest.
2025.
Yes. Correct.
So 6 weeks, so now we're going to 2. Yeah, 2 weeks is tough. Here's the only thing I'd tell you, though. If you're the National, it's the best thing that could have happened to you. You know how many guys are not going to go to New York because of what you just talked about, the pricing?
Can't afford
it's
it
one
now.
thing to be like, hey, I'm going to get a little fancy, stay in a nice place. I'm going to drop $2,000. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Now you're going to drop $5,500 because most of us aren't going to stay in a rat-infested place like you.
Did not think that my unglowing review of NYC was going to play such a part on this
podcast.
Has.
I'm honestly shocked they're still having Fanatics Fest there after you listen to what you said about the place.
Yeah.
But I do think you're going to drive a lot of people away.
I unfortunately agree that there's probably going to be a lot of people that can't make it. However, I don't think that they care whatsoever. Because last year, we came to capacity, at least at one day.
And you already have people in the city this year.
There's plenty of people that are going to go to this.
No question.
I don't think that they have any concern whatsoever, but it will be a detriment, I think, to the overall hobby in general.
I certainly don't think it's a good
there's
thing.
many card people that will be at this. I think there will be fewer.
It's tough,
at least.
and then you're going to spend $3,500 to set up. If you're setting up for the whole weekend, doing the whole song and dance, getting a table, everything, you're dropping $8,000 to $10,000. Well, if you got you and one other person.
That's why I'd say if you are interested and you're listening to this now, go out. That's why I did. I went out and bought it now. I never buy anything.
You going to the National too?
Yeah, I'll go to both. But yeah, that's why it's like I don't want to lose my shot because I was not going to pay $1,000 a night, but I would still find something. You can get something for $300 a night.
Dye isn't it? Call him back one more time.
No. I'm not calling him twice.
It's good content. She might still be in Italy.
There's another.
Oh no, that's next year. Never mind.
There's another story. Caitlin Clark is out for the remainder of the season, which there's not much of the season left. I don't believe.
Couldn't tell.
I believe it ends in I think maybe this week.
Okay.
But she is out. I looked at pricing. Nothing. Of course, there's another. You can't. I think it will affect maybe the last of the WNBA viewers for the rest of the season. I just mean that
the numbers are unbelievable when she plays compared to when she doesn't in terms of views.
So I do think that's a detriment. However, I think the Fever were very close to not even being in the playoffs. I think they're trying to get the 8th seed right now. So all that being the case, it's probably not great for WNBA, but her card pricing does not seem to be affected.
Boom, roasted.
Let's see.
We got Gordy coming on in 3 minutes.
Yeah, I've got one other story here.
I'll stay out of the way. I want to do some release talk after.
So Florida is wilding out. Okay, we'll just say that. Florida, I love the beach of Florida. The beaches of Florida. Don't need what's going on hobby wise. So there's 2 different stories. I got 2 different Florida based stories.
Did you listen to the last pod?
The one
solo show?
No, of course not.
Yeah, this is the repeat. Go ahead.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about? Did you talk about this?
I don't know. What are you going to talk about?
You were talking about the card show?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So then the card show aspect of it is part of it. That was one of the portions of the story. What did you say about it?
You're talking about they're not allowing people to buy, sell, trade unless you have a table and this guy's trading in the
bathroom. That was that show, yes.
Yeah, Lakeview, Lake Worth.
Yeah.
I put out a call to have them call in. A couple customers reached out to me, people that were set up there. And they gave me the guy's name, but I'm not calling him. So
what was the viewpoint?
Yeah, like, stupid. Why would you drive people away?
Well, the guys who went to it, what did they say?
Good show. Dumb that they don't allow more people in there to do that. You're driving people away.
Have you heard of any other show where they've done this before? Like where they say, hey, you can come, but you can't. Like if we see you trading, you're out.
The guy in Murfreesboro here years ago used to do that. And I remember one time
years ago, like sometime.
Oh yeah, I'm talking. And this is, by the way, that was the first show I ever went to when I got back in the hobby. It was at a hotel in Murfreesboro, and I walked in with there was no Zion back then. I forget what I had. He's like, "Are you setting up?" I was like, "No, I just brought my." And that was when I was still I had stuff left over, dude. This might have been 15 years ago, 14 years. Like I was bringing stuff to just sell off because I hadn't used it in forever. And the guy's like, well, if you're not setting up, and I remember like getting into it was not him. It was the guy working the door. It was $2 to get in or something. And I was like, well, I'm not leaving my car. I'm not going back to the car. So
yeah.
And I was younger back then. I had a wicked attitude. And I was like, no. And if you want to do something, like we can do. I'm not leaving, and I'm not putting my stuff in the car. So, well, I guess you can go in. And he had a real attitude. I remember the conversation distinctly. Like distinctly though, he like stopped me, and I was like. Oh, Gordy's here. Look at this. Rebecca, the old no notice, just dumping guests in when I'm trying to rant about idiots in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
We're pulling old producer tricks.
What is happening here?
Gordy, what is your take on this? Did you see this post about
don't even give him the back view. Just ask him what his take is. Don't give him any information.
If anybody said you at a card show you went to that you could not buy or sell if you did not have a table.
Gordy Bonker's cards, by the way.
Buy, sell, or trade, just to be clear. What would your take be?
You've seen this story going around, I'm sure.
Yes, I have seen this story, and I actually have a pretty strong feeling about it. I find it incredibly frustrating for a card show owner to think that he should be able to control what people are doing in their own actions, like some sort of card show dictator. I think that's crazy. I personally had a frustrating experience even dealing with it at the National, believe it or not. I was in like the main lobby when you walk into the National.
Oh yeah, yep.
And a good buddy of mine I've done plenty of business with, I was just basically counting out $100 bills, making sure like he was paid correctly. I was buying a Jackie Robinson card from him. And I had a security guard come up to me like, hey, you guys got to get out of here. Like no transactions in this room. And I was like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, I kind of like barely see the point of view from like the point of like the dealers are paying to have their tables in there. Like sure. I'll always be super respectful. Like I've had it before since people recognize me and people want to sell me stuff sometimes. If I'm at a table at a show, somebody will come up to me while I'm looking at a guy's cards and try to sell me cards right there and not to the dealer. And I've had the dealer get really pissed off about that.
I'm good with that, by the way. I'm team dealer there. If you're in front of my place, move along. 100%, yeah, but just go to a corner of the building. Who cares?
Yeah. But dude, if I'm out like far away from the card show floor and like I'm scheduling time to meet somebody to close up a transaction and you're going to have a problem with that, dude, you are in the wrong business, man. You have to be promoting the hobby in all facets.
Yes, like, we just want people here.
Yeah. One of the things I actually wanted to talk to you guys today about, I was trying to think about preparing for the conversation on things that I've seen shift in the hobby. I feel like selling is becoming a activity that more collectors are doing. Selling is not just a dealer only thing. It is something that collectors are doing as well because of the more liquid nature of the hobby from all of the resources and tools that are coming out there. Like, more people are selling, and you need to be more open to that and allow for that to be a function of guests at your card show.
Yeah, because there is that weird gray area. Like, if you've never set up at a show, you're light years away from ever setting up.
So I actually had this as a point to talk about. I am seeing recently, within like the last month, maybe 2 months, there's more like media out there of, hey, if you've never set up at a show, you should buy a table. And it's not geared toward the guy who has a card shop or anything like that. It's geared toward the people who's in the hobby.
But I guess my point, there's a big middle ground, though, of, hey, we want new guys setting up. Obviously, we absolutely want that. But there's a big step of, I'm going to go and just try to sell 10 cards I've never sold before to I'm going to set up. That gray area, though, is where it's like you show up, you do some off-the-wall trades like we're talking about.
You or me even, but especially just the average collector, goes to the National or another card show and say you're not the most outgoing person. How do you sell your card? Especially if you go around the tables and the guys are like, I'll give you 50% comps on it. Like, there's no real way to do it unless you're sitting in a hallway and you just have your cards spread out with like a little sign that says, for sale. That's what some guys were doing at the National. But if you go to these shows, I honestly don't know the better way to sell your cards unless you buy a table.
Maybe.
Yeah, I have a lot of I don't know. I've seen kids try to sell their cards to dealers, and it's frustrating when you have a dealer that isn't respectful or like can kind of read the room. That a lot of people don't have like a sales background, negotiation, something that's super uncomfortable for a lot of people. It's a skill set that gets built over time.
Yep.
And I've literally, I remember at the East Coast National in New York, I saw a kid trying to sell Aaron Judge cards to this vintage dealer, and he didn't want anything to do with them. And I could see like the kid just needed some work on his pitch. Like, he had good cards, he had his comps, he had his numbers, but like he couldn't close the deal. So I was happy to just pull him aside and be like, dude, first of all, I'll buy the cards.
First of all, I'm Gordy Bonkers. I'm going to put you on my show, 50% off these comps.
Bang.
See?
Yeah, right.
If you're not taking advantage, you're not doing it right. I'm kidding.
But like I feel like you need to like be more, if you're a dealer, like you need to have some respect for especially the younger kids that are out there. Like,
empathy. A little empathy for them wouldn't kill everybody.
Yeah, totally.
I agree. Yeah, because at some point, these are the next dealers. Hey, I do want to talk. This is something we've teased the last couple times. Teased it on the solo show as well. And you brought this up. I asked Rebecca to scrub the audio. We couldn't. I gave you full credit.
What's happening right now? I don't
There's
know
been a real movement in high end, and it's not just vintage.
What?
It's new stuff. I talked last week about the Griffey PSA 10s. I think there's been 13 more sales since my show Thursday. My show, the solo show. I'm sorry.
Sure.
Not my show. It's the brand. Take it easy. Hey, relax.
Didn't say anything.
Rebecca, tell him to relax.
He's freaking out.
The Griffey continuing to go through the roof, which is wild. The PSA 8 Jordans I've been specifically watching. 4 more sales over the past 5 days, over the 9,500 mark. Mm-hmm. You talked about it with Shep a month ago, the mantles. Gordy, you live and breathe in the vintage world. Are you starting to see like a real clear distinction of that high-end stuff setting the mark? Like every week it feels like we're seeing like noticeable growth.
Yeah. I have been writing about this for the last couple months. I saw it coming in the beginning stages of the earlier part of this summer, and then recently it has been so heavy, even like since the week or two before the National till through now. You're seeing like that higher end price point, low pop or super relevant, culturally relevant cards to the hobby, or players that are culturally relevant just absolutely take off. And it's an interesting spot in the market overall, because I think there's a lot of substance as to why these cards are trending in the direction that they're trending towards. You just have a lot more of capital moving around that's looking for a home, whether it be in other alternative assets or specifically sports cards. You have new eyeballs that are getting attracted to the hobby because of platforms like SCN or media influencers like King of the Cards or Card Collector 2, whoever it is. You just see more organic and like legitimate demand for this stuff.
Sure.
It's not people that were coming into the hobby because they wanted to make a quick buck. And I'm more speaking to specifically sports cards.
Yep. I
don't want to speak out of turn. I don't know a lot about the TCG market or Pokemon or who's in that. I've heard a lot of, I would call it like side stories about what's pumping that market and why that's behaving so differently. But for the high-end sports card market of true scarce, true assets with a lot of cultural relevance, I think that they're are going to continue to go higher. I said it 2 or 3 months ago when it first started to happen, and now it's like really blown up. And I've got receipts. You could go read the newsletter, bonkerscards.substack.com. I'm writing once a week about this stuff. And I don't think anything is materially changing unless you see something really significant change in the overall economic landscape, which is also not happening. So it's a pretty cool time to be watching it for collecting, investing, whatever it is. But I see it completely.
So I had a theory about this, too. And I actually want your take, too, Jess. So my theory was, and I heard this from some other guys, is specifically, though, I was talking like Jordan and newer. Guys are getting out of some of this super, super high-end brand new stuff, but they still want to be in the card market. So it's like, hey, a lot of guys, honestly, like me, I don't care about vintage, but I want something that's safe. I consider a Griffey a safe card, cemented guy. I consider a Jordan, a Brady. So the theory was, well, I'm selling off this ultra high-end Joe Burrow, Herbert, Jaden, whatever, or even prospecting in baseball, because I want to go get a more of a modern, almost vintage type card like that, and that's where I'm throwing my money. What do you think about something like that?
The question, when you say Griffey, though, you're just talking about him as a player in multiple cards, but not his rookie. You are talking about
the 89
the problem
rookie,
I have with the rookie
please,
is the other cards that you're talking about have much lower pop counts. The fact that he has so much, I would not consider a safe investment in the terms of what I would consider a lot of the other lower pop, bigger goats of their sports. Investing in those would be just because there could be a day where people are like, oh, there's 20,000 of these or whatever.
4,500 Griffies. Yeah.
So if I want a Griffey, I'll go out and find a Griffey, and there's someone who's going to race me to the bottom. Like, I don't have to worry about everybody staying at whatever this high price is. Now, granted, if there's a much smaller pop count, that's not going to be the case.
But what about the thought, though, of getting out of the new stuff to go to a modern-day GOAT? Like so
a modern-day GOAT, getting out of something modern or getting out of something today depends on what my idea of collecting is, because if I am doing this as if I'm buying new guys, I'm not doing this as an investment necessarily. I'm trying to make a quick buck. Like those guys, people who are buying brand new ones, I feel like they are buying them with the idea, because we've been in this long enough, we know what's going to happen. Everybody's going to tank almost like within the next few months if they don't out of this world perform, or they're just not the best. So they know I buy now when he's like hot, everyone's talking about the rookie, I get out. Versus the guys who are cemented, the GOATs, those are more investors. Those are guys who are looking to save and looking to have something to put aside where they don't have to worry about as huge of a fluctuation downward.
Yeah, I think we're seeing the first group you talked about start to get into that older stuff. Not with the intent of I'm flipping in a month, but just with the intent of I made all my money on the new stuff. Let me go out and get that Hallmark piece.
I think the majority of people getting into those Hallmark pieces, those GOATs, are people that are coming into the hobby and
new people.
They're seeing what others have spent, so they think it's safe.
Okay.
I think we're going to see a crash if it continues to do that. Not throughout the entire hobby, but in that segment of the hobby.
Where are you at with that, Gordy? Who is buying, and I know it's not totally your world, but you can tie it in with the vintage. Who's buying the Griffey 10s at all-time high, almost all-time highs, the Jordan rookies at very high, and then even let's spill over to the
prices are high. I mean, I know technically they're all-time high, but for the importance of the hobby and specifically like that era, if you think about the collector who likes the Griffey and the Jordan rookies, a lot of those guys are starting to enter their period of life where they have their highest income that they've had. Yep. They have more discretionary income. Like they want to invest into something that's not just a traditional stock, bond, or piece of real estate. And they see this stuff as alternative assets. So that's mostly the people that are spending 10, 15 grand on higher end cards like that. I think you're going to look back on this clip however many years from now and be like, you could get an 86 Fleer Jordan 8 for 9 grand. Like I would buy those all day at that price because again, there's a true scarcity to the vintage Hall of Fame greats. Like even the argument on the 89 Upper Deck Griffey pop count, if it's 4,500.
I think it's 45. Is that right?
I'm looking up right now.
Okay.
If the market continues, if you get more and more adoption of collecting as a hobby, you get more and more people looking at this stuff as an alternative asset, then 4,500 is nothing for the total pop count.
I think he's the most popular baseball player right now, period.
But just to be clear, Gordy, this is the same conversation we had in 2021. Like, I mean, like how you're talking about it is like, if we get more people to view this as an asset class, if we get more, because I had the same, I said the same words. And
that's
I
where,
saw
and
what
that's
happened.
where, by the way, that's my argument here. I think this time I think there are new people, obviously. I think we're seeing a lot of people get, because I hear it in the break room, hey, we're kind of getting burned out on the new stuff. Let me take all this money in my break budget for a month and just go buy a Griffey instead.
Sure.
That's kind of why I asked it that way. I think we're seeing those people, which I think is more sustainable.
Well, and I'd like to be clear too. Like, I don't think that these numbers are wrong. Like what Gordy said, as far as like the fact that you could get a PSA 8 Jordan, which I was double checking that price. It sounded actually pretty good. But a PSA 8 Jordan right now being last sold was like $9,700. If I could get one at that price in a few years, the fact that there's, I mean,
how many of those are there? Do you know?
The fact that there's 9,000 of them, I don't know if I'm thinking that one is as good of a deal. However, the one that's like a PSA 9, there's only 3,000 of those. A PSA 10, there's
300.
what, 300?
Yeah.
I think some of those would be in the category of, hey, a few years from now, I could get that card for, you know, whatever the case may be, $228,000 for a PSA 10. I could see that continuing to go up a little bit more. But my overall fear is there will be an end when we can't say, oh, each week that set a new record. Oh, it's going up again. It's going up again.
It's not like that with COVID. Look at the graphs in COVID. It was 4xing over time. It's been a much more steady growth this time.
Pokemon had a much more steady. It's been over a multiple month period as opposed to like over 2 to 3 months in 2021. It was like January to March where you saw like the biggest spikes, and then it started coming down. It was still high. But Pokemon's been over like the last year where you saw a big increase, but it's still starting to come down. It doesn't mean like, when I say crash too, it doesn't mean like it has to be, oh, it just skyrocketed within a month and then fell within the next month. It could just be a market correction of it skyrocketed and then we have a slow trickle down. I'm okay with a trickle down, but the fact is, if we are going to see it like set a new record, you have to be thinking, where am I in that record? Am I at the top? Am I at the peak?
Sure.
Or is there a lot more growth to be had? And that's where my fear is, that we're already seeing these cards set these highs. There's going to be a week where it's like, oh, we didn't set a new high.
Yeah.
And now we're going to start seeing guys, that didn't set a new high this week. I got to get out of it.
Yeah, I was just helping a client who is high net worth looking to invest into really big cards.
Just a real estate guy? Your famous friend?
No, sir. He's not a collector, but he got a kick out of that whole.
Dude, you got to get that guy in. He's got like 50 trillion followers. What the heck?
It's a good show.
Yeah,
if you haven't
no
seen
joke.
it, I highly encourage it. It's pretty.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Some real estate. What's the guy's name, Gordy?
His name's Ryan Serhan. I've got more content coming out with him this week.
Dude, he's like the most popular real estate influencer. He's like unbelievable. Yeah, you look, it's ridiculous.
Is that the guy who's in VFriends?
Yes. Yeah, he does have a VFriends card.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the guy.
Yeah, I know him.
But I was looking at not his buys, a different guy's buys in 2021, and he came to me. He's like, Gordy, I want to consolidate all this stuff into super high grade stuff. And I was looking at the prices he entered in 21, and I was feeling like I was gonna wince a bit because I had thought the market was super high at that point. He might have bought at the top, and it was all mantle cards, like Hall of Fame guys, Jackie Robinson, and he did great on it from 2021 to now.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that. Dang.
Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of people like don't really recognize where the market was right before that big COVID jump, like how low it was. And now we're just starting to retest some of the price levels in 2021. Like the super high grade, like low pop vintage cards from the 50s that made all-time highs in 2021. A lot of those cards are just starting to retest the 2021 highs. And like, I'm telling you right now, there's more capital that needs to find a home in this market. There is more investors that are looking at this stuff seriously now than there was then. There is way more corporate investment from both media, technology, and everything in between of people looking at this stuff totally differently. And that's just one sector of why people buy this stuff. Like, people love to just own and collect this stuff, and they don't they don't care about the investment growth. But there is a huge population of people that cannot deny the returns that they've seen over this stuff. There are several different cards and specific players and sets that have outperformed the S&P 500 over the last 10, 20 years. And the S&P has been on an absolute tear. So like, if you want to look at it that way, if you want to look at it from a collecting viewpoint, it's just, I don't really see, unless there is a massive change to something that we can't see or control right now, people that have the capital, they don't care if they're making a new all-time high in the short term.
So I have a specific question too, selfishly. The only two vintage cards I own a PSA 6 51 Bowman Mays and a PSA 5 52 Bowman Mays. I bought them at all-time highs, and I'm not going to get my money back. Like, I think I paid 45 for the Bowman and like 20 or 25 for the tops, although they're creeping back. So I started to look at these. The market's coming back a little bit. They're getting a little stronger. What do you? So a guy like me who has no emotional attachment, what do you say is the play on those cards?
You bought the 51 Mays for 40?
I think it was 40. I got to check my... Actually, I think I have this in my card ladder collection. I think it might have been 45.
That is crazy high because...
Oh, excuse me, 38. We paid 38 for it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there was one that just sold last week for 31, Mike. That's going to retouch that price point in the next year or two. And again... Willie is a great guy to hold long term, so absolutely do not sell that. There's no reason to. I don't think you're going to get 38 in the market right now, but I bet you the next one's going to go between
32 and 35, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're going to be in a dart throw from your cost basis. So, like, yeah, you really top ticked at 38.
Sure.
That's crazy.
Oh, I set the record. Yeah, I know. Yep.
Well, look,
we had to get money.
Like
we had to get money
really
off the books back then. That was an IRS play, my friend.
Well, so here's a question for you, Gordy. At what point do you see this affecting the more? I mean, because eventually this will affect other things besides vintage. If it's a vintage play right now for a lot of these guys, and or if it's not vintage, it's just more solidified guys. When does it start affecting more modern or ultra modern cards?
Dude, I don't know. Like I've tried to spend more time like educating myself on why people feel comfortable putting the type of cash that they are into modern cards that are like, I've come around on Shohei Ohtani. I think if I have a guy that really wants to put money into Shohei Ohtani, I will let it go because I think he is so culturally relevant and he has done enough that he's going to be relevant for a really long time. Outside of him, I don't understand it. And like, just because it's a one-of-one superfractor from this set, like, I don't give a damn. I don't understand why people think that's worth putting more money into than some of these other cards. And there are guys that are super smart that are doing it. And I just really believe if you don't understand something, don't invest into it. And that's why I don't do it.
I think Ohtani's... I actually agree with you. I think Ohtani's the only modern-day guy on that level that I think long-term is there. Because he has the international market, and like a weird set, he's about to be the second player ever to win 4 MVPs. Never been done. Like him and Barry Bonds. And he's 30... Cool. What is he, 30, 32?
Sure.
Like he's on a weird tear. Maybe
but
he's the
outside
game.
of him...
Honestly, outside of him, who else do you look at right now who's active and you're like, hey, I could put unbelievable money in this guy? Patrick Mahomes, I would like to say, but I also am like, you think the second half of his career is going to be better than the first? I have a hard time believing that.
So my only thing is, what is speculation? Like, what in the card hobby, what is speculation, especially when we're talking about like rookie cards? It's all with the intent that I'm going to buy the next Mantle or the next Jordan.
Sure.
And I'm going to get in early before prices go crazy. Now, granted, there's going to be guys who are more short-term. There's looking for the quick flip. But if there are people that are out there trying to buy these and they see, oh, instead of like the biggest card in the world being, for Jordan, $200,000, now that those Jordans are selling for $2 million. Now it's like, oh, well, I'm willing to spend more on these rookies. And there are going to be a lot more people, I feel like, getting burned and or losing money because they think of it as, oh, I'm investing in a future GOAT, and it turns out to be a bust. Well, they just spent more money because they thought the overall price structure of the hobby for GOATs was way high because Jordan's at $2 million now, and now they're getting taken advantage of. I feel like,
can you be taken advantage of if you're looking at that and you don't understand what's happening and you buy?
Well,
Is it just your fault?
Maybe taken advantage of wouldn't even be the right word, but I do think does increase those rookie prices, and I don't see that actually being changed right now. In fact, I think that's what we just talked about, right? It's like we're not seeing as much guys coming out of the ultra modern and going into this. So that's where it's like, I do think these things are all tied together, and that's where, like Gordy said, if you don't understand it, why are you buying in? If it's not affecting the rookies and things like that, it really should. Those things are typically tied. That's why people will often buy those rookies. So that's where I don't understand.
You say
why
it's not affecting it, but like we just sold Jaden Daniels 101 non-auto for $500,000.
I would argue to say that was kind of outside that window of where we've seen because I mean, like, that was at Fanatics Fest, so that was right around the time where we were talking about this price increase for these all-time GOATs. So yes, that was right around the time. However, if it is true that we're not seeing the same kind of pricing for modern day rookie quarterbacks or baseball players, whatever the sport, then does it make sense that these other prices are going as high?
You say that, though. I'm not sure what you mean. Like, look at Nick Kurtz.
I'm going off what you just said a minute ago as far as people pulling out of ultra modern.
Because the prices are unbelievably high. They're selling and going to back. But I think the rookie market is at as unbelievable high as well. Look at Wemby's stuff when it was selling last year, unbelievably high. Look at all the quarterbacks last year.
Are they setting new records, though? I don't think they're setting the same kind of records.
I mean, Jaden set a record.
I mean, yes, there's a few and far between, I would guess. But, I mean, as far
Peyton
as
Manning, like, there's a lot of, like, fairly modern stuff that's setting records like that, yeah?
That's not – I mean, I'm talking about ultra-modern, like guys who are currently playing active that are setting records right now in their sales.
I guess the other problem, though, like, there's not cards there either, though. We don't have autographs of basketball and football guys. But the non-auto stuff is going for unbelievable money.
Maybe.
The Kurt stuff in Bowman. No, maybe.
It could be.
The
the
Jaden set a
fact
record.
that
The Kurt stuff is setting records. Like, that's...
It could be that the fact that we're about to see a licensing switch. There's a number of components that could play a factor in why we're not seeing some of these guys increase where, like, that was what we saw in 2021. We saw a huge increase in rookie prices that was absolutely insane. Mac Jones lovers out there know that all too well.
Sure.
But at the same point, we saw the vintage stuff increase. Now we're just seeing vintage stuff increase, and I just don't know if we're seeing the same kind of investment into those rookies, and that's where it's like those should be correlated to me, and they're not, and that's what makes me wonder why not.
Yeah, maybe. Again, I think there's enough examples. I just didn't do any research on it. I just know of the big stuff that is sold. But I do think the Ohtani thing is funny because I think that's the one I would agree. Like, if you're going to spend money on an active guy, I mean,
which I still would rather. I would still much rather buy a high grade 51 Bowman mantle, or like, especially with the prices that some of that high level Ohtani stuff's doing. Like, and the fact that there is still a lot of different versions of what feels like the same card.
Sure.
Oftentimes with modern stuff, and like we're getting a little ticky tacky with like what makes this card more valuable than another.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day,
I do too. Yeah, that's fair.
One other buyer that feels the same as you, and you know, I sometimes the guys that are reaching out to me that want to invest at that level don't really care. They want to know that their money's going somewhere that it's going to be safe and slowly appreciate, and they have this section of their card portfolio that they want a little bit more volatility on, and like, by all means, that's great. So I think that's what makes the hobby so fun too, is that there's so many different ways to do it. Everyone has their own thesis. Everyone has their own reasons for buying, selling, collecting, being a part of it. And it's just, and you know, when I was thinking while you guys were talking just now of like, what would make this trend reverse? What would make the card market go down? It would be a lesser supply of collectors that are buying this stuff. And what trend would make people stop collecting? A behavior that's been happening for 140 years. But why would people stop collecting when every time they open their phone, if they're interested in it, they're getting several different TikToks and Reels about YouTube talking, or them watching a different clip, or all these new card shows that are popping up, and more companies that are recognizing that people value this as an experience and as a hobby. Like, it's really hard to imagine something where people just go, I'm good. I'm done with this. With the amount of growth in sports as an industry, with the amount of growth in sports gambling as an industry, like all of this stuff is one big trade intertwined in like a long-term trend. And it's like, dude, it's very hard to make the argument right now that it would go the other way.
Yeah. I also think the big difference, too, with COVID, and I don't think we're going to see the spikes like we did at COVID across the board, and I kind of hope we don't. The other two things, though, you have institutional stability. Like Fanatics is now the license holder for everything. Mm-hmm. And and again, to a much lesser degree, I do wonder the amount of eyes. Like when we started in 21, like there was like 3 podcasts. There were like 5 YouTube shows that were tiny. Like that's come a long way as well. Again, much lesser, but I do think those are 2 things that also help add some stability to it.
Well, and there's also the fact that we're talking about, in a large case, what we've been talking about are people who are buying this as investments and who have the capital to do that. How many guys who are in the Facebook groups or message us who are like, they're super psyched because they just spent $10 on a card. They just got a $50 card or a $100 card, and that's like the biggest one in their collection. Sure. There's a lot of people who can't afford this that I feel like that is a fear of the market continuing to go up, is you end up pricing. There's already how many have been priced out. We continue to price others out. I guess in the sense of Gordy's point earlier, where you've got more people coming in that have expendable income to spend on these things, that those could be, you don't have to get necessarily young people with not any money. You could have guys who are in their 40s and 50s who now they have the capital to buy it. But I do worry that at the end, if we don't have kids getting in, younger people at least getting in, then do they care about this long term? So I always consider the collector as well as the investor. And my thoughts are collectors are going to become less while investors may become more.
I think it's going to continue to blend. I don't think it's like people are going to be in one camp. Like I said, collectors are selling a lot more right now to be able to reallocate to the cards that they want in their collection. But the piece you talked about in terms of getting kids involved, man, I have a mentor in the business that has been doing this professionally 30, 40 years, especially at the super, super high level, like 7-figure up type of cards.
Who is it? Tell us. Can you tell us?
And this guy hasn't been to the National in 10 years. First National he went to this year in a long time. And I asked him, like, what's different? What do you notice? He's like, Gordy, I am blown away at how many kids are here. He's like, I've never seen it so young. I've never seen so many kids involved in the hobby. Like, it makes me so happy to see that. And for somebody that hasn't been in the hobby that long, you know, relatively to him or other people that have been doing this, like, I just took it for granted that there's all these 12, 13-year-old kids running around with Zion cases and trying to, you know, get pictures with athletes or their favorite content creator or whoever. Like, I think that's a huge dynamic at play here, that it's something that kids like to do, that they want to do with their parents or their dads. Like, I have so many father-son combos that are in the whole Bonkers Cards Club ecosystem. And it's something that, like, especially when we were talking about earlier, Mike, the age demographic who grew up watching Griffey, like, those guys are the ones that have little kids right now. Right. And in that time period, like, history repeats itself, man. That time period saw a massive explosion in the hobby. Like, the junk wax boom is probably bigger than what the COVID boom was. And those guys who are having kids now that are interested in the hobby are reliving some of their favorite memories. And nostalgia is really freaking powerful, man. So there's just another thing. Like, the hobby is very youthful. There's a connection to fathers and sons doing this. So, you know, I hear a lot of this, and there's always a serve back for it. There really is. And it's a good time, man. I really do believe it.
Hey, look at me, back in the hobby with my dad who's about to die.
Why would you say that?
Well, you never know. All right. I'm just kidding, dude. Hey, so I want to wrap this up, Gordy. The big announcement, the reason we're having you on as well, and we'll tease this next week. So you were going to be the newest member, newest content guy to jump over and join the SCN media team. Is it Bonkers Card? What's the name? What's the official name of the show?
The official name of the show is the Gordy Bonker Show.
There you go. The Gordy Bonker Show. We're going to debut it next Wednesday. Is that still the case?
I believe so, yes.
Next Wednesday. Awesome. Super vintage focus, market focus, kind of your journey as well, kind of a blend of both. Is that kind of the scope?
Yeah, you know, I'm super stoked to get to join you guys and have a show on your platform. I think you guys have built an amazing thing, and the focus of what I want my show to be is a little bit what you just said, like speaking about the sports card market from a vintage perspective primarily, both as a collectible, because I'm a collector. I love the history of baseball. I think there's a huge like market that wants to be served, the history and the collecting side of the hobby. But additionally, I want to be able to have a platform to speak to it as an alternative asset because of everything we've been talking about. There is a growing demand of people that want to learn about this, that are engaged in thinking about this type of stuff to allocate real money to, that no one's really talking about. in the way that I've been talking and writing about it. And to have a show that can amplify that is great. And then the next layer under that is really, I want the Gordy Bonker Show to be a amplification of my personal brand and get people to know me. I'm a huge fan of baseball and baseball history. I love entrepreneurship. I am going to share stories about my journey building my own business and my own brand. I hope to have guests on that are entrepreneurs that have interesting stories. I love to golf. I'll definitely be talking a little bit about the golf world. And even I collect a little bit of golf stuff more recently. I found myself collecting more golf. So I want to kind of mix all that together. And I do plan on having guests on the show that I think will bring interesting points of view and can probably help further educate the listeners and make people think maybe a little bit differently about their cards collections or maybe even alternative asset investing. So that's a little bit on what I'm aiming to do with the Gordy Bonker Show.
Nice. Yeah, so it'll debut next Wednesday. We'll tease it ahead of time. We'll get the specific launching places and all that. But yeah, appreciate you jumping on and giving us some vintage knowledge, sir.
I'm stoked. I really can't wait. Appreciate you both a ton, and I will see you guys soon.
Awesome.
Thanks,
See you,
Gordy.
man. Thanks, Gordy.
Later.
We also do have one other thing. We got to do a giveaway. Courtyard gave us some more packs to give away. So this is basically, I want to do this a little bit differently where we've had to wait a little bit for the names of people who won to give them their packs. This is what we'll do. When we make a post about this to show what we actually pulled, for all of you that want to compete to actually win one of these cards, all you need to do is drop your Courtyard username in the comment, and we will pick a winner from there. It'll be very simple. We can just send it over to you. I have it right here. Packs, Michael, you will be able to see right here as well. Okay, we have 2 packs. These are football. They're $50 football packs. They actually sent us $100. They wanted us to do one of these master packs. However, the master packs are reloading right now, so we don't have access to them. So we're going to do 2 of the $50 ones, and we're going to see what we get. First one, graphic. First one, 1989 score, Rod Woodson, PSA 10. The 90% buyback is $55. It actually was more than the $50 buy-in, so not bad. So
Third greatest cornerback of all time, by the way.
Third. Okay.
I think so.
All right. Rod Woodson is our first one. Next pack.
That's a Bartley guy right there. Can we rig it so Bartley wins the card? Is that allowed or no?
I mean, we can choose now. So.
Done. Bartley, that's yours.
Oh, that one is... I'm going to guess the winner's going to want that Rod Woodson. Our second one is the 2023 Panini Instant NFL Draft Night, PSA 10 of Bryce Young. It is down a little bit right now. The 90% buyback is $23. So
I wouldn't give you a 10.
Depending on how Bryce Young does. So there you go. Those are our 2 cards.
I like the Rod Woodson. That 89 score set's actually pretty awesome. That color border, too, is a pretty tough grade.
At this point, yeah, I feel like there's going to be a little bit more interest in some of these packs because they've started adding new ones. One of the other packs that they've done is like you can now do like multiple $1,000s of packs. I think there's like they've got, I think it's called legendary packs. So if you go in there, if you guys are ever looking to go a little crazy, so there's a sports legend pack and there's a sports diamond pack. But the Legend Pack has cards that are worth upwards of $20,000 to $40,000. They said there's 0.1% of the cards in there are that. It shows like the hitters, the heavy hitters are. You've got like some National Treasures, patch auto, flawless. Let's see what else. This one is a Curry one. You also have like Jackie Robinson rookies. PSA 3 is in there. You got some Babe Ruth, Ty Cobb, SGC 4s, a few other big names. There's Michael Jordan rookies in there as well. So if anybody's curious about getting any of those, again, not for the faint of heart. That's the Sports Legend Pack on Courtyard. You guys can go check that out as well.
And those are thousands of dollars or $8,000?
That is $2,500 for a pack of that. The Sports Diamond pack is $1,000 a pack, and those they've got like some this is a Michael Jordan. What is this? Michael Jordan PSA 8 in there.
My card. Sure. You just pumped it for an hour.
No, this is the 96 SPX Jordan, not his rookie, but I mean, there's also out of 10 Michael Penix in there.
Throw the rookie on. It's fine.
Okay.
Give him the 8. Give him the 86 flair.
Okay. Well, there we go. We're going to do that as well.
Yeah.
Actually, one of my more favorite mid-'90s or late '90s sets. This is a Dennis Rodman Skybox Molten Metal. It's like the ones that have the little holes in there too. You got one of those in there too. So yeah, it's crazy to see what some of these packs are starting to get up to. But there's honestly,
that's a lot of freaking money.
I mean, like they've got how they do it is like it's 48% of the cards in there are going to be worth $500 to $750. 22% are $750 to $1,000. And then 23% of the cards are $1,000 to $2,000. So you're getting like basically, what is that? Quarter of them are worth at least what you paid. Okay. 6% of them are worth $2,000 to $4,000. And then 1% are worth $4,000 to $8,000 on the sports diamond ones. That's why that
1% or 0.1%?
1%.
Oh, one. I said
between
0.1 earlier.
Well, that was on the sports legend one. The legend one has, but those are also $20,000 to $40,000 cards that they have 0.1% of.
What if we get one of those and give them away to me? What do you think of that?
So anyway, there you go. You can go check that out. Courtyard.io.
That's a no. I think that's a no, folks.
You can. I mean, I'm not saying no. You can do whatever you want.
I'll make a fake address right now.
There you go. I don't have anything else. Oh, the thing I was going to say about Florida was just the fact that Junior Caminero hit a home run. A guy got the ball and they kicked him out for not giving it back. They said really? Kicked him out and gave him 6 months suspension or something from all games.
That's a blessing. You don't have to go to the Tampa game for 6 months.
But it's just like, what are you, for sports fans, like, and I even looked at it.
I don't know if it was a little unruly or something.
Well, everything that I had seen looked to be that you can keep the ball. Once a home run ball gets hit into the bar, that is public property. It's fair game.
I wonder why he wanted to keep it. Like, is it a significant ball for Caminero?
I think there was some significant.
Might have been like his 40. Dude,
it was the 40th.
He's having an unbelievable season.
I think it's 40th this season.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is.
Okay. So
unbelievable year.
So, but still, Florida, come on. This and now card shows and now
I've always said Florida's a trash bag in general.
I love the beaches. Don't get me wrong.
I like the northern beaches.
Yeah. I guess I don't really know much about the southern beaches. All right. There you go.
Did you see the thing with the Philly fan who caught the ball?
Oh, the Karen?
Yeah. That lady, by the way. Oh, man.
There's a lot of that going around. Well, and then you had the tennis kid, like the kid who got the hat and the guy grabbed it. And then, again, it turned out it was like the guy was like some important
I
Russian
love as these
dude.
people get doxxed immediately.
I know,
Gives me hope in society. Not much.
We can still use the internet for good things,
That's
too.
right, to absolutely ruin people's lives who deserve it.
Yeah, if you go to a Coldplay concert and you're cheating on somebody, that's
They
on
got
you.
divorced, that lady. I just saw that.
Oh, yeah. I did see. He either quit or got fired from his job. He was like CEO. Wow, what a day.
You should have been fired for going to a Coldplay concert.
What are you talking about?
2025?
What are you talking about? Coldplay concerts are awesome. I haven't been to one, but I've seen them on TV. I've seen them actually record. They're so cool that they will record them, and then you can watch them again.
You like Coldplay?
I like early Coldplay. Okay. You trying to tell me the Scientists, Yellow Sparks, like all those big hits, like you weren't into those?
No.
You were never into any Coldplay?
No.
All right.
I don't think you were. I think it's a bit.
I swear to God I was.
It's the eclectic Jesse bit.
Oh, this is no eclectic.
Are we done?
Yeah.
Is it? This is a long show.
Did you have anything else on Coldplay?
They stink.
Oh, that's wrong.
No,
so
they
I
don't
guess we
stink.
don't have anything.
Not my taste.
Really? You backed down on that take? I wouldn't have thought that.
I don't think they stink. They're very popular. They clearly don't stink. I don't like them. Okay. I don't think adult males should be listening to Coldplay. I think that's reasonable.
Back when I was all up in my feels, trying to get a date and all that stuff. Yeah, that was all. I was all into that kind of stuff.
Pathetic.
Well, Iron and Wine, you know what I'm talking about?
I don't. I'm glad.
Well, folk music, you're not into a little folk? All right, that's the end of the show.
This is bit eclectic, Jesse.
It's not eclectic.
Just being cool for the ladies.
I can't help
Guys,
that my story
now I talk
is one of humor.
Baseball cards and Pokemon and TCG.
I like a little bit of everything.
Nothing speaks to the soul of a woman like a Charizard. And for that, all you cool cats out there, I'll be back on Thursday with my little sidekick, Mike. Not as cool or eclectic, but he'll be here.
He'll still be here.
Meanwhile, his godfather, Dave, is dead. R.I.P. This one's for you, Davey. Jesse, take us out with that music, pal. Catch you on the flippity flip.